Captain Alex Morgan stood before the Galactic Council, acutely aware of how small he'd appeared compared to the towering alien representatives. The 7-foot-tall Vargans with their chitinous exoskeletons, the bulky Taurans with natural armor plating, Halith Meridians whose crystalline skin deflected most energy weapons. And you expect us to believe that humans can contribute meaningfully to the Galactic Alliance's military force? Ambassador Krull of the Vargan Imperium didn't bother hiding his amusement. Your species lacks natural defenses of any kind. No claws, no armor, not even basic radiation resistance. Several delegates chuckled. The sound echoed through the vast chamber, bouncing off pristine walls of unknown alien material that seemed to shift colors with the changing mood of the room. Morgan remained outwardly calm, despite the tightening in his jaw. This wasn't the first time humanity had been mocked since first contact 3 years ago. Earth had been hoping for a warm welcome into the galactic community. Instead, they found themselves relegated to the bottom of the interspecies hierarchy, viewed as primitive, vulnerable creatures whose only value might be in colonizing planets the stronger species deemed too hospitable. With respect, Ambassador Morgan replied, maintaining diplomatic composure. Appearances can be deceiving, can they? Ambassador LX of the Meridian Collective interjected. The crystalline patterns on her face shifted in what Morgan had learned was their equivalent of a condescending smile. Your species requires artificial environments to survive even mild atmospheric variations. You break bones from simple falls. Your skin tears from minor impacts. The Alliance has standards, added General Dorn, the hulking Tauran military representative. We cannot commit resources to protect species that cannot contribute proportionally to collective defense. Morgan exchanged a glance with Lieutenant James Wilson, his second-in-command, who gave an imperceptible nod. Perhaps a demonstration would be more persuasive than debate, Morgan suggested. Ambassador Krull waved a clawed appendage dismissively. Very well, entertain us, human. Morgan tapped a sequence on his wrist communicator, a device the aliens believed was merely for translation purposes. 30 seconds passed in awkward silence. Is this your demonstration? Krull asked, mandibles clicking in amusement, standing and. The chamber doors slid open. 2 figures entered, each 8 feet tall, encased in sleek obsidian armor that seemed to absorb the light around it rather than reflect it. Their movements were fluid, unnaturally graceful for their size, each step covering twice the distance a normal human stride would manage. The council chamber fell silent. May I introduce Brigadier Thomas Reed and Major Lisa Ortiz of the Terran Defense Force? Morgan said into the stunned silence. The armored figures moved to stand on either side of Morgan. Up close, the council could see the details of the suits. No visible joints, no seams, no apparent power source. That helmets featured no eye slits or breathing apparatus, just a smooth, featureless surface that somehow gave the impression of watching everything. What trickery is this? General Dorn demanded, rising from his seat. No trickery, Morgan replied. This is Nexus-class powered armor, standard issue for our frontline troops. Major Ortiz stepped forward. Her voice emerged from the suit, unmodulated yet somehow carrying an undercurrent of controlled power. Our exoskeletons are symbiotic neural interfaces composed of programmable metamaterials and quantum-locked nanolattices. To demonstrate, she extended her arm. The armor seemed to flow like liquid metal, reconfiguring into a blade 3 feet long, then a shield, then back to its original form. Impossible, whispered Ambassador LX. Such technology is beyond even the Meridian Collective. Not impossible, Morgan corrected, just kept private until now. Humans have always been physically vulnerable compared to predators on our world. We survived through innovation. Brigadier Reed spoke next. This suit enhances strength 50-fold. Reaction time is tripled. The outer shell can withstand direct energy weapon impacts and regenerate from damage. The internal environment protects against all known toxins, radiation, and atmospheric conditions. To prove his point, Reed picked up a ceremonial stone bench at the edge of the chamber, weighing at least 500 kilograms, with one hand and held it overhead effortlessly before gently setting it down. Most importantly, Morgan continued, These suits are linked directly to the neural patterns of their wearers. There is no lag between thought and action. The armor becomes an extension of the human body. The council members exchanged troubled glances. Why hide such technology? General Dorn demanded. The Alliance protocols require full disclosure of military capabilities. Does it? Morgan raised an eyebrow. Every species here has evolutionary advantages they were born with. You don't consider those to be hidden technology. This is humanity's evolutionary advantage, our minds and our ability to create tools that compensate for our physical limitations. Ambassador Krull's posture had changed, the earlier mockery replaced with wary respect. How many of these suits does Earth possess? Morgan smiled. Every human soldier in the Terran Defense Force has one. 100,000 active units with production capacity for 10,000 more per month. The silence that followed was profound. Perhaps, Ambassador Alex said slowly, we should reconsider humanity's position within the Alliance military structure. General Dorn nodded reluctantly. I propose immediate integration of human forces into our frontline defense networks, particularly along the outer rim where the swarm incursions have been increasing. Morgan inclined his head. Earth would be honored to take our place as equals in the defense of galactic civilization. As the Council hurriedly adjusted their previous assessments, Morgan allowed himself a small smile. Humanity had faced extinction-level threats throughout its history and survived through adaptation and innovation. The aliens had made the classic mistake of confusing physical frailty with weakness. They wouldn't make that mistake again. Captain, Ambassador Krull said, his tone now respectful. What other evolutionary advantages might your species be keeping to themselves? Morgan's smile widened slightly. That, Ambassador, is a conversation for another day.